Shalom, brothers and sisters. This will be a quick, short video based on something somebody asked me to do concerning the 12 tribe chart. Why I believe it's false. There are many people that believe it's a true chart, but I totally disagree with that. So the question was asked for my opinion or mindset on that, and we'll jump right into it. Isaiah 11 chapter. Sometimes I wonder if brothers is tearing pages out of the book. Isaiah the 11th chapter, and it reads, beginning at the 11th verse, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people." This is a futuristic prophecy that the Most High said in the last days he gonna set his hand a second time to begin the recovery of his people. "Who shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, from Pathros, from Cush, from Elam, from Shinar, from Hamath, and from the coastlands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth." Now this would pinpoint accuracy show you that there's no way possible that all of these people in all these different lands in this Western Hemisphere could be Israel. This show you with pinpoint accuracy that the 10 tribes went into slavery 900 years before the transatlantic slave trade. The 10 tribes still remain in Africa until this day, according to this prophecy in Isaiah, that the Most High has now just begun to set his hand a second time to recover. And so now you see all of these different tribes over in Africa raising up to find out that they are Israel. And it makes it clear with pinpoint accuracy that he will set up an ensign and gather together the dispersed of Judah. Okay, now, so our people did go into all these lands, Cuba and Puerto Rico and this and that and the other, but they cannot be boiled down to being the 12 tribes. They can only be boiled down to the 2 tribes that resided in Jerusalem. And that was Judah and Benjamin, sprinkled with some of Levi. Okay, them is the only ones. Now, let's look at the book of Luke, 21st chapter. Let's go to Luke 21. There's some stuff we don't even need to be fighting about. We just need to stick to the scripture. And for them brothers that think that the 12 tribes of Israel or the Native American Indians, the Cubans, the Dominicans, the Panamanians, man, that's, our people are in all of those lands. But they are not the tribes. There was only 2 tribes. Only the children of Jerusalem and the children of Judah were dispersed into the 4 corners of the world. And the Bible makes that clear. It ain't even nothing to argue about. Okay. Luke 21, verses 20. "And when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, know the desolation is near." This with pinpoint accuracy is identifying a specific spot that's going to be destroyed. Jerusalem. "Then let them who are in Judea flee into the mountains, and let them who are in the midst of it depart not out, and let not them that are in the countries enter into it. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things that are written must be fulfilled. Woe unto them that are with child, and to them that nurse children, for in those days there shall be great distress upon the land, and wrath upon these people. They shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles." Okay, here you go again. What people was going to be led captive into all nations? When you see the armies of Jerusalem, the armies surrounding Jerusalem. "Then let them who are in Judea, who are in Jerusalem, flee into Africa." Okay? The people of Jerusalem fled into Africa and then were sold from the banks of West Africa into the four corners of the earth. Those were the children that resided in Jerusalem. It said these were the ones that was going to be led as captives into all nations. The 10 tribes was already in captivity. So, it's real simple. And it's hard to get around Isaiah 11. It's hard to get around that because it tells you with pinpoint accuracy where the 10 tribes of Israel are. It tell you where they are. So, those are just 2 scriptures. Let's go look at another one then. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah. Verse 3, for lo, the days, verse 3 of the 30th chapter, for lo, the days come, said the Lord, I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord. I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. Let's pick up at verse 8. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off his neck, and I will burst thy bonds, and the strangers shall no more enslave them. But they shall serve the Lord their God, David, and their king, who I will raise up unto them. Therefore fear not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. And there you go again. He says, fear not, O thou my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, Israel. He said, for I will save Jacob from afar. From afar. The 10 tribes never left far from their homeland. Only Jacob did. And if you try to boil the 12 tribes down to these little bitty these little bitty nuggets of what they ain't even countries. The nation of Israel becomes very small when you try to fit all 12 tribes into that. That is nothing. That don't line up with the promise that the Father made Abraham. He said, your descendants shall be as numerous as the stars in heaven. And if you try to put a tribe here, and Cuba's a tribe, and Puerto Rico's a tribe, and this is a tribe, and this is a... Israel, they look like minute as a nation. But when you come to understand that scattered into every one of those lands is 2 tribes, now you see it lining up with the promise that was made to Abraham. You see the vastness of the nation of Israel. Let's go to Joel 3rd chapter. You see, brothers going to have to tear these scriptures out their Bible. And I don't know what spirit that they're being led by, you know. And it ain't nothing personal, so whatever it is, you know, you think you got something that you can come back with to use against these scriptures, some evidence, then that's fine. But if you ain't got no evidence, it's going to be best to just, you know, watch the video and tiptoe right on past it and keep on going. Don't stop. Don't pay no attention. Because y'all can't substantiate that stuff y'all talking about. That ain't no different than these people trying to make Moab Israel. All right. Verse 3. Here we go again. Chapter 3. Verse 1. Behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Prophetic. Futuristic. It is the time that the captivity is being reversed. That time is now. I will gather together the nations. I'll skip over that. Okay, let's go to verse 3. And you have cast lots for my people. You have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that you might drink. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Verse 6. The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their borders. Now we see that word far again. We seen it in Jeremiah 30. Oh, be not afraid, O my servant Jacob, for the Most High shall bring thee from afar. Now you see it right here in Joel. The children of Jerusalem and the children of Judah were sold into the hands of the Grecians, that they may be removed far from their borders. And then you see the Messiah talk in Luke 21st chapter, 24th verse. They shall fall by the edge of the sword, and then they shall be led captive into all nations. So those people that was led captive into all nations was not the 12 tribes of Israel. They were not the 12 tribes of Israel. How could all 12 tribes of Israel be in captivity when the 10 tribes went into captivity years, hundreds of years before Jerusalem did? You see, it don't make sense. It don't line up. It don't line up. So be careful what you're listening to out here. You know, and you know what? I'm not the only person that feel this way. You can go on YouTube and you can find, 1,000 people that's going to use these same scriptures. It don't line up. And so, most of our brothers, they are just teaching what was taught to them. And I don't know what is fear. They won't go against a particular organization or a particular group of people.